Okay. So before going to the post-colonial theory and post-colonialism, it is necessary to understand what is colonialism. So colonialism is defined as control by one power over the dependent of another people or area of the other people. And colonialism is a practice or policy of control by one people or power over other people or areas, often by establishing colonies and generally with the aim of economic dominance. Anya Lumba, in his work Colonialism and Post-Colonialism, said about colonialism, she states that colonialism was not an identical process in different parts of the world. It, it is the conquest and control of other people's land and goods, which witness a wide range of practices including trade, plunder, negotiation, warfare, genocide, enslavement, and rebellion. Now, what is post-colonialism? Its definition and features. The term post-colonial means post or the after or the colonial after the colonial period. So, post-colonialism is a historical period which state the affairs representing the aftermath of Western colonization. And some critics use the term to refer to all culture and cultural products influenced by imperialism from the moment of colonization until the 20th to 21st century. And the post-colonial literature seeks to describe the interaction between European nations and the people they are colonized. And the term post-colonialism is a widely accepted term to indicate those literature which emerged after the end of the formal colonization. And it is cover all the literature from all the countries which were affected by colonial culture. And in simple term, it is the antithesis or critique of European literatures. Its implication is a historical phenomenon and shifting of power relationship of colonizer to colonized. We can say that post-colonialism or post-colonial theory is kind of an umbrella term because it covers Commonwealth literature as well as new literatures. It is an umbrella term because it includes colonizer, colonized, and colonialism. According to Darian Smith in one of his articles says that post-colonialism is a term with multiple meanings and political associations cutting across and implicated within theories and imperialism, modernity, racism, ethnicity, cultural geography, and postmodernism. And post-colonial theory is actually a body of thought primarily concerned with accounting for the political, aesthetic, economic, historical, and social impact of European colonial rule around the world in the 18th and 19th or 20th century. When did colonialism began? So, in the Empire Write Backs, very famous books by three writers. One of them is Griffith Ashcroft. He said that we use the term post-colonial to cover all the culture affected by the imperial process from the moment of colonization to the present day. This is because there is a continuity of pro-occupation throughout the historical process initiated by European imperial aggression. And we can say that modern colonization began during what is also known as the Age of Discovery, beginning of the 15th century, when Portugal began looking for new trade routes and searching for civilization outside of the Europe. The term post-colonial. The term post-colonial addresses all the aspect of colonial process from the beginning of colonial contact. Post-colonial critique and theorists should consider the full implications of restricting meaning and term after colonialism or after independence. Post-colonial theories. It focuses on reading and writing of literature written in previously or currently colonized country, and the literature is composed of colonizing countries that deals with colonization or colonized people. The post-colonial theory is a term that refers the theoretical and critical observations of former colonies of the Western powers and how they relate to each other and how they interact with and the rest of the world. And the field of post-colonial studies was itself been hotly contested ever since in the rise of 1970s. The three pillars of post-colonial theories. We can say that Edward Said is the father of the post-colonial theory, and Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak and Homike Bhabha. These three are considered as the pillar of post-colonial theories. First of all, let's see about Edward Said. So he is considered as father of post-colonial theory and probably the most important figure for rise of post-colonial study and post-colonial theory. And he is American scholar, critic, and writer. His book Orientalism is evaluating the entire historical tradition of European American thoughts and examining the relationship of political power to the representation to the European world. Second one is Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak. There is a spelling mistake in Chakravarti, Ty. Her work, Post-Colonial Theory, was critique of post-colonialism toward a history of the vanishing present. It is her work in post-colonial studies, and her work combined the Marxism, feminism, and deconstructive reading. Next is Homike Bhabha. He wrote The Nation and Narration, a very famous work, and this consider how to conceptualize the nation under the colonization and in the post-coloniality. And then Frantz Fanon is also considered as the great post-colonial writer, and he wrote his works have become influential in the field of post-colonial studies, critical theories, and Marxism. Major issues and in post-colonial theory. Post-colonial theory looks at the issues like universalism, representation and resistance, Orientalism, language, diaspora, hybridity, and ambivalence, subalternity like class, race, gender, caste, and ethnicity. What is post-colonial criticism? So, post-colonial criticism deals with the effect of colonization and culture and society. And this criticism examines three aspects: the processes, the effect of colonization, and the reaction to the colonization. Now let's discuss about post-colonial texts. So if we look at the literature, so there are so many texts written in post-colonial studies. First is Kanthapura by Raja Rao. So it is a story of heroic Indian villagers fighting the British in pre-independent India. So it is considered to be the first major Indian English novel. Second is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. So it is also the story of protagonists who fight against the British in Nigeria, and the novel is foundational text of post-colonial literature. The other novel by Chinua Achebe is No Longer at Age. So things keep falling apart after independence for a young Nigerian man in Achebe's the second novel, No Longer at Age. Then White Sargasso Sea, as we have studied, this novel is a prequel to Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, and it is written through the perspective of colonized women. Then Midnight Children is also post-colonial novel. Then Waiting for Barbarians. Then J.M. Coetzee's Poe. It is also retelling of Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe from the perspective of woman. Then The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. It is the novel about the caste, family, and nation. Then Orientalism. This is the book by Edward Said, and this book got the whole field of post literary theory. Said shows that how colonial authors justify colonialism through their literature and through their writing. And these are also the post-colonial texts, The Empire Right Backs, The Location of Culture. Now, the impact of post-colonialism on the other field of study, how post-colonialism affect the other fields like archaeology, sociology, anthropology, political science, history. philosophy, cultural study, British and American literary studies, feminism, Marxism. These all fields are affected by the post-colonialism and post-colonial theories. So these are my references. Thank you, everyone. Shall I stop?
Yes, okay. Yeah. Okay, questions to
Hello,
Daya?
Daya?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, why it is important to study a post-colonial literature or a post-colonial theory?
Yes. Please repeat your question.
Why is it important to study a post-colonial theory?
Okay, post-colonial theory is important to study because it has influenced the way we read texts and the way we understand national and transnational histories. And it is also important to understand subaltern and in their voices and the product of literature, discourse in philosophy, language. It is also important to understand economy and society, to balance balancing and imbalancing between us and they. So these all are the aspect. For that, we have to study post-colonial theories.
Yes. Can you tell about post-colonial literature and colonial literature? So, what are the difference between both of these, post-colonial literature and colonial literature?
Yes, Jignesh. Colonial literature are written through the perspective of colonizer, while post-colonial literature are written through the perspective of colonized people who are colonized. And the another difference is post-colonial literature is written during the time of colonization. The setting of the that literature is the time of colonialism, while post-colonial literature is written during the opposite time. And the main character in the colonial literature are colonizer, while in post-colonial literature we can find the characters are colonized people.